Oh,
It's okay.
no.
So we're all just like standing here, like,
And we're just like,
It's an all mime performance. That's what this Tales is going to be. It's just all miming all the time.
I'm much more comfortable that way, actually. So if we want to just continue.
I think Wolf's
So-
Blood did it.
Here's what
Wolf's
happened.
blood.
Here's what happened. So I had this issue this morning when I went on my own stream, and my microphone, like my Streamlabs OBS, like reset all of my mic settings totally on its own.
no.
And so sure enough, that's what happened here. So anyway, look at this amazing group, you guys. I have all the cool people here tonight, whether they are here on camera or in chat. This is the place to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody go around and introduce themselves. And this is going to be news to Jess. We're going to start with her. So Jess, Jess, what I'm going to have you do is just tell us a little about who you are and where we can find you around the interwebs.
Interwebs.
I am Jess Pendley, one half of Underground Oracle Publishing, which everyone here is familiar with. Hopefully people in the audience are too. You can find me on Twitter constantly, way too much, on the Underground Oracle Discord. Other than that, just I'm pretty easy to reach on Twitter. I'm there way too much, so just hit me up there. So that's about it.
It's true. And I understand you're going to be starting a newsletter soon.
Oh, yeah. In addition to the Underground Oracle stuff that we do, and that you can reach via our Patreon, I'm starting a free newsletter next week. You can sign up for it now, but it'll have like really neat stuff that we don't typically do in Underground Oracle. So really off-canon stuff, or just really wild ideas that we want to get out there. It's called Unplaytested.
That's awesome.
I'm very excited.
I love it. I'm so excited for that. I signed
So
up as soon as
excited.
I heard about it, so I can't wait. Nick, we're going to go to you next.
Hello, I am Nick. And I was distracted because I was just handed the baby monitor. So if I had to get up and disappear, it's because of Hazel. But so my name's Nick. I recently started and launched a TTRPG streaming variety channel called Scry Society. And we had our very first stream last night. I really wish I could say that you should go to our Twitch and check the VOD out, but I don't know how to do Twitch, and I didn't have the VOD settings turned on. So it is lost to history.
But it was,
But it was
good.
amazing. It was so good.
So good. It was so
Agreed.
And we are going to do another one, hopefully every month, as long as I can get my stuff together. So I'm very excited to be here tonight with these fine folks. I brought ice cream, and I am just ready for a good time.
I am glad you brought ice cream because I did not, and I'm sad. So, yeah.
This is my ice cream. Is water.
Mine is seltzer water. It's blueberry lemonade flavored seltzer water. It's pretty good.
That's
I have water for the second half.
There you go.
Lemon lime seltzer water.
Nice.
Kroger brand. Thank you. The only seltzer water that gets you fuel points as well.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
So let's see. We're gonna go over to David next.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? My name is David. I am the Dungeon Master for From Afar podcast, and that's pretty much it. I'm just excited to be here with all these amazing folks. It's always good to be on Tales. It's always good to talk to amazing folks, and it's always good to talk about nerdy things. And I'm just very, very excited for all of those things. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on and hanging out. Ray.
Oh, wait. Can I say one thing real quick?
Yes.
One thing. Can we do a quick round of applause?
Yes.
For two reasons. Nick's stream last night was awesome.
Yep.
And also, this is Jess's first time.
It is
on
Jess's
Tales
first.
from the Tavern.
Jess's very first stream. Yay! Yeah. And actually, Ray, I want to take 2 seconds. We have a level 4 hype train going. Thank you all so much to all the people who have been gifting subs to the community. That's amazing. I'm very excited, very, very happy to have so many amazing people here in chat. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names, and I'm so glad you're all here. So, yeah, Rae, go ahead.
Hi, I'm RaeMayhem. I paint minis. I am part of the Ripples in the Gray Star Wars Edge of the Empire TTRPG on Shared Experience on Tuesday nights. You should stop in and watch it sometime, because it was good before me, but now it's just a little bit better. And
Very on top.
yes, and I am so thrilled that my little blurb tonight has Mother of Porgs in it, and there's nothing more I want out of life now. I've peaked.
You've peaked. Well, if that's all it took, man.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, my character in her first full episode, the chat raised enough points for us to have to fight a Porg army. So we did, but I kept one, and I rolled to keep the fattest one. So it's a round little Porg that the crewmates have named PP8. And now I am Mother of Porgs, and he is my child.
It's true. It's amazing. It's such a great stream. I love
That
it
is
so much.
precious and adorable.
Yes. And Patch, we'll go to you.
Well, you gave me a very difficult task to follow up everybody else.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Love you too, Luna. So, hello and welcome. You are hearing the lovely voices of Patch. I am a voice actor, D&D player. You may have heard me on the first campaign of Discount Dungeons. Their second one is kicked off already. You should go listen every other Wednesday. And generally just a guy who loves hanging out, talking to people. You can find me on Twitter. And yeah, that's me.
Well, I'm super glad that you guys were able to all come on and hang out. We have a huge night tonight, so chat, listen up. This is important stuff. First of all of our questions come from you guys, so if this is your first time coming in to hang out and you have a question that you would like to ask this amazing group here, feel free to drop it in the chat, and one of our moderators will make sure that I see it, so they will send it to me directly. We do have an option for channel points called Ask My Question Next. So for 1,000 channel points, if you have those banked up, you can actually bump your question up to the next one in the line if you would like, but only 3 people can do that throughout the course of the night, because we want to make sure that we can get to as many questions as we can. So feel free to just go ahead and start dropping all those questions right in there as soon as you think of anything that you would like to know. Second, we have a ton of giveaways tonight, like a ton of giveaways tonight. So we do. We have all kinds of stuff. So tonight we are giving away, Rae has painted a mini. Do you have that handy, Rae? You could show it off.
I do. Have him here.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So it's yeah. So Rae has painted that for our first giveaway. So we're gonna start off with that one. Then Jess was nice enough to bring 5 blind bags of dice. So we're going to be giving those away periodically throughout the night. We're going to start with 2 before the break, and we'll give away the rest after the break.
Dice goblins assemble!
Yeah! And then Nick has offered up a copy of the adventure that he wrote, Into the Mists, which is available on the Shard tabletop system. So if you don't have an account, that's okay. They still have free accounts available, and you can access it there, so you can play his very amazing adventure and try it out for yourself. So normally I launch in with a question that I start the conversation with, but we've gotten 3 already, so I'm just going to start with the ones that we have. CL Primus would like to know, is there anyone that you would want to DM a game for you, or that you would specifically like to play with?
Oh man. That's such a good question right out of the gate.
While you guys think about it, I'm going to start the giveaway for the mini, and exclamation point ticket will get you entered. And Rae, where will you ship to?
I can do US and Canada.
Okay. So US and Canada, please. All right.
I would like to offer up a suggestion. Oh, sorry, Luna, I cut you off.
Somebody else started talking, but it wasn't me.
So I'll be quiet. Someone else go.
No. I was just going to ask if Luna could remind me, are we allowed to enter?
Oh, absolutely. You guys are allowed to enter.
Great.
I'm not.
See,
I'm not
I
allowed.
Except
know
for
that.
Patch. Patch is not allowed to enter.
I'm not allowed.
I know that because I'm always the one with the giveaways, and then everybody else enters. But I'm stoked just to enter. Like, I don't want to win. I just want to enter the raffle
Go
while
for
I'm
it.
here.
Go for it.
Okay, wait, what if you
I
win
like
your
our
own
kid.
giveaway though?
I'm not entering for my own.
Yeah.
Oh my
Did you
god.
not hear it? She's a dice
It's not
goblin. She wants the dice.
involuntary, David.
That's-
Also
Yes.
into
Hey,
the-
Ray, you won a mini that you painted.
Congratulations!
I imagined you would still pack it up, ship it, take it to the post office, and mail it to yourself. Like, oh, what's in this box?
I absolutely would. I absolutely would.
All right.
Okay, but David, you were going to say something.
So you had a suggestion.
I did. If we're talking about people we would like to DM us, I would like to put the asker of this question on blast a little bit.
Go for it.
Because I just recently played in a one-shot.
I
with
know.
CL,
I heard about it.
and it was one of the most memorable and exciting one-shots I've ever played in. We were 20th level. There was literally so much chaos, and like it was like Shannon and I were in it, and we were like had a little message going on behind. We're like, we should just try to make chaos, but CL Primus just rolled with the punches and made it one of the most amazing one-shots I've ever been a part of. So that's my first answer, but I want to circle back to myself because this is a good question.
It is a good question.
So I'll answer. I have an answer.
Go for it.
Like, dream DM, like anyone from anywhere, would be Brennan Lee Mulligan,
Oh,
because I think he's a genius, and he both won my heart and broke it in not another D&D podcast when he played Deadeye. He was just so good, so good. Realistic answer is David Tillstra. Because we play in a game, we play in a home game together, and he's magnificent. And I'm just like, whatever I have to do to like get to play a game that you DM, like I bake really well, like whatever it takes.
She'll paint you
We-
minis.
Yes.
Now we have to ask: is David above bribery? I believe the answer is no. No, he is not.
Absolutely not. Of course not.
Noted.
Of course, everyone here in this conversation, and dare I say in the chat, the DMs are always open. Hit me up. I'm always down to meet new friends and play new games. And Ray, of course we can make that happen. Let's make that happen. 'Cause
Yay!
That's awesome.
Good. I said it, and now it's a thing. I
Now it's a thing.
manifested it.
There you go.
There
You
it
put it in
is.
the universe, and the universe
I put it in
listens.
the universe, and the universe listens.
So
Oh yeah, go ahead, Pat.
okay, yeah, I'll jump in. I guess if we're talking like anyone, anywhere, my answer would probably be Deborah Ann Wool. Just,
Ooh.
I mean, I watched Daredevil. I thought she was incredible in that. I saw some of her other stuff. I think she's just one of those a fantastic storyteller, just a joy to listen to, and someone who will kind of take things very much in stride, which is always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for realistically, I'm gonna say Waffles from Waffles.
He's
Zero.
a great DM. Yeah.
I've seen he does an amazing job, and it's always like getting to pop in is always incredible to hear. And yeah, I put it this way: I have no idea how to play Pathfinder. If he said, "Hey, you want to play a game?" I'm like, "Give me the book. I will devour the book just so I can."
Well, they're so good at teaching people. Waffles and Syrup are both good at teaching people Pathfinder.
I thought, David, I thought of Waffles, and I thought of the From Afar boys because I know you all very recently started to learn how to play Pathfinder. Hillary and I were recently out at a little outdoor restaurant like last month or something, and this guy came up. It was like a coffee shop, and this guy comes out and he sits down and he takes out a bag and he pulls from this bag this like perfectly mint condition book wrapped in plastic that I watch him like take the plastic off, and I can hear like the creak of the cover is open, and he's reading. It was the Pathfinder handbook. Like he was just like, I just saw a guy starting his
That's
journey
amazing.
That's
into
cool.
Pathfinder.
That's
He
so awesome.
literally
That's so
like,
cool.
opened it up to page 1 and just started reading. and it was just cool. I was like, I witnessed the birth of someone's hobby.
The birth of an era. That's so cool.
I love it.
I think, like, if we're talking about celebrity DMs, I don't know if this person plays D&D, but I feel like Mark Hamill would do a really awesome job
that would
of
be
just being a
fun.
DM. I
I
don't know,
agree.
like, his voices are always so, like, they're just so good. I feel like that'd be really fun. But I feel like sort of in like the Twitterverse, I feel like Keith actually would be really, really, really cool. Because Keith, every time I'll message Keith something, I'm like, Keith, I need something for like, I'm going to an island with flamingo people, and I need something. Oh, that would be this type of thing. And I'm like, well, your knowledge is just so deep. Like, I feel like it would be so cool to play a game with Keith because there's just so much knowledge there, and he's just a good guy too. So
Yeah.
Keith has ruined me for any other DM. To be honest with you, I mean, without sounding, ridiculous, because obviously, he's my significant other, so I'm very biased. But he's amazing. He's beyond, like, there are amazing DMs out there that have like great grasp of the rules, etc. That you can run a game very smoothly. You have a great time. But beyond that, he's just a amazing storyteller. Like the immersion, everything. It was really the first games that I really experienced what I had always wanted Dungeons and Dragons to be like, was in Keith's games. And absolutely amazing. As far as players go, any of you people here, I mean, now that I'm on camera, Pendley box is open.
You did it! You did the baby! You did
Yeah.
the thing!
You made it! Yay!
Yeah.
ripped off.
But yeah, players, I mean, I've listened to almost all of you play here, and you're all amazing. So I'd be happy to play with any of you.
Ditto.
David took my answer. I was actually going to say Keith because I've heard so many cool things, and every time like a new supplement comes out from UO, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, and they're like, yeah, we started playing in this like thing 10 years ago, so like they have all this stuff, knowing that like so much of that came from their world, so that I'm not just doubling up. I will say Sean of Paradise RPG, who just rated us.
Yeah.
I have played, so I've done a murder mystery party with Sean, and he was my father.
That was incredible.
He did such a good job that I still call him
so
Pops.
full of rage.
Yeah,
I missed this altogether.
If you're in chat, Pops, I love you.
Oh, he's in chat.
That's why you called him Pops
That's
last
why-
night. I was like, because I was like, wait, is your dad named Sean too?
I wasn't even there for that one. I was thinking of when he was the actor. Oh yeah, I have my Paradise shirt on.
Shannon just asked. I was like, yeah,
Yep, I have the Paradise shirt on.
There you
I had
go.
to rep Paradise.
My Paradise merch is a tank top, and I didn't think it was very appropriate. For it, so.
Yeah, well, you're repping your own show.
Yeah, repping some Know Your Role. But yeah, so Sean is, all joking aside, he is an incredible DM. Paradise RPG was really the first, I will say, I don't want to say indie, but like they were the first D&D podcast that I started watching or listening to, outside of like the big ones, like outside of Critical Role and Not Another D&D. It was basically, the first three for me were Paradise and Discount and From Afar. And I've just been so impressed with Sean's ability to tell a story and like the lore, the knowledge he has, and like the lore of his world is incredible. And I can barely keep up with the lore I write for like one city, and he has like a whole millennia
Knowledge.
Yeah. So it's a long-winded way of saying I would love to get to play with Sean as my DM.
Ditto.
I've had the joy of playing with him as a player on one of the one-shots in Paradise. I can only imagine that it's so much. I'm sure it's amazing both ways, but to hear, like, have him sit behind the chair. I mean, even listening just on, on the Paradise on Monday nights is always just like my mind is blown.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for dungeon masters who can, like, they don't have to just rely on being goofy to like, that's myself. I just, whenever I get like, it's just a joke or someone with no hands or whatever, I don't know, like, but like whenever is like, it's just always so like serious and like so like like crucial at every moment. I'm just like, dang, this is fire right now. It's very, very good.
Awesome. All right. So Jim the Dim would like to know, what is your favorite character's favorite candy? Such a good question. I think the last character that I was playing, she was a halfling rogue, and I would say that her favorite candy, well, I guess it's debatable whether or not it's technically candy, but it would be like those honey sticks.
So
The hard part about that is picking a favorite character really more than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a tough one.
that's the hardest part.
So I have one because I play a character right now that has a thing for candy. I play in a story arc where I play Bobble Rouse, who's Bob Ross, and she's an illusory wizard, and she's a tiny little cat thief. She's like the size of an actual cat. Like, she's very, very small. And she has like a thing for candy, and her mom is a witch and has like connections to the Feywild. So she gets candy from like the fairy realm, and we were escorting this character who was like knockoff Chris Angel, like a fallen Asimar Chris Angel, and he was so David and I have the same home DM, and he's so good, but like he'll play unlikable characters, and it becomes personal, and like that's how I thought about Cass Devil. But she gave him, so there's a thing in this world called pixie dust, which is like cocaine, and she gave him like a fey pixie stick that's just like sugar and flavoring, and I rolled really well on it, so it is now canon that like the candy that she has will like put you in a coma. Like it's like the good. So Bobble definitely would be like the weird kid that like snorted pixie sticks. That would be her. Like she would get it into her bloodstream, and like the candy that's too sweet, like it makes your teeth hurt. That's what she likes. She's that gross person that puts extra sugar in their sweet tea until like it's so saturated.
It's like white at the bottom.
Yeah.
I know.
It is amazing.
Oh, man. Okay, it's gonna take me a second to get over that.
I think so. It's been a while since I've played as Relic, but Relic still remains one of my favorite characters. For anyone not familiar, that's Relic from
Oh,
a Warforged cleric of the Forge.
A Warforged cleric who does not have a tongue, we learned.
He does not
No,
have a
he
tongue,
does not.
which we found out officially confirmed by Keith Baker,
Yep.
the inventor of the Eberron campaign. But
that is.
I'd like
such
to
a
think
That's
weird. It's such a weird world that we live in. I'd like to think that he pretended like he really enjoyed dwarven rock candy at the mines, which was the other dwarves they played a prank on him because he's a Warforged, and they were just making him eat like geodes.
Oh
But
no.
they told him it was dwarven rock candy, and he got in a lot of trouble with his dwarf dads for eating a lot of geodes. That's what I'm going to say in my canon.
Aww.
So was Relic just like chewing on rocks, falling out of his face, just like, all these are so good.
Oh, he's like
So he's like the rock biter from Neverending Story.
exactly.
Yes. Why did that make your dwarven dads angry? Like, why didn't they just let you chill and eat rocks? Like, what was that the problem?
Because of the valuable gems that I was consuming, and that were then being destroyed in my forge.
That's
okay.
a dad move.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, Relic
That's
has
dad vibe.
Relic has a forge in his chest. So, like in the first episode of Know Your Role, he wanted to be polite at the tavern they were at, so he started drinking the stew, but it just turned to stew vapor. Which led to one of my favorite jokes from the entire campaign, where Marvin, who plays Gorlax, was like, "Dude, you vape?" And it just, I loved it.
That's great.
I miss that show.
Yeah.
You guys did such a good job with it, man.
So I'm gonna jump in because I don't really have a great answer. A lot of my characters did not get the chance to eat candy, but I would say my favorite character was Nargo, and he was a second edition barbarian custom class. Chris, who's the DM of Discount Dungeons, was like, "Hey, I'm gonna playtest some stuff. Like, you want to try this out?" And then I think we kind of realized partway through that, oh, this might not be as balanced as we thought. But Nargo was my big dumb whack boy. Like, he just hit stuff really hard. He used a tree as a weapon, but I think his favorite candy was just whatever you put in front of him. He was one of those guys who's like, this tastes good. I love it now. Like, one of those people.
That's great.
I just started a giant slayer, and her favorite candy is ale. I would say it's probably her favorite candy.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
To the gods.
I really want to try, Jess. I want to make an all Giant Slayer campaign that's like Attack on Titan themed so badly.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Nick, I'm sending you my information. Um,
you guys even came up with like a new weapon for them and everything. Yeah, it would be really awesome.
Well, Nick's got to finish 2 Haste, 2 Taste first.
It's
Yeah,
2 Taste, 2 Haste.
I do have to finish writing 2 Haste, 2 Taste.
is there a Fast and the Furious Attack on Titan crossover in the future? Are there going to be flying cars that turn into...
I'm pretty sure you just gave Vin Diesel the idea for Fast 11.
If Vin Diesel's here, I'd really love to get
Vin,
you on the show.
yeah.
So,
Vin, give us a call.
right? Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
I love
Titan
it.
Quest. Oh, man, that's amazing.
Not to
think
derail us,
my
but this was so good I have to share. Have you guys seen the thing about the song Dear Maria fitting all the anime openings? So there's this thing that people are like, Dear Maria is just an anime opening, and they've been lining it up with like Attack on Titan, like My Hero Academia, Sailor Moon, Full Metal Alchemist, and it works. So
I just saw one that they lined it up with the DuckTales intro. And it hits hard. It's so good.
I'm gonna have to look for that one now.
If I can find it, I'll let you know.
Awesome.
What do you got, Luna?
All right. Well, I was just gonna say, we had Patch here redeemed a Ask My Question next, so we're gonna jump to that one. What's your favorite pop culture reference you've had in a game?
I figured it just kind of tied in well with what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So you have to answer first.
Okay.
You ask the question.
Go for it.
That's fine.
That's a good
Actually, for mine, I said before, the One Shot in Paradise that I did, I played a bard known as Rangoon Bellylaugh, and basically my reference to it was that the entire time I was doing the John Mulaney voice.
Oh my god!
And now I'm putting myself on the spot. Like,
yes, now you have to demonstrate.
I've got to get back into character again, and it was such a wild experience, thinking all these ridiculous one-liners and watching Stefan just like looking at me like the whole time, going like, "Oh." I had a book of like jokes and D&D jokes and one-liners. I was just reading out of that. There were some really ridiculous ones that
You naughty boy, I like it.
Oh yeah, I was slinging at the last battle. I was slinging the vicious mockeries. There was definitely at least one where Shannon was like yelling at me in the chat. You just said that.
That reminds me of one of I did a One Shot in Paradise with them as well. And Luna, you were there for that.
I was there for that one.
We were brother and sister
that
had just recently found each other, and we were traveling into this dungeon. But like the whole time, Stefan was doing such a good job. It was like so dark, and we were all serious. Like, okay, here we go. This is it. And we get to like the final we get to the like relic room where there's like rumored to be all this treasure. And we're like, oh, all right, what is it? Describe what we see. And he starts describing things, and he's like, you see like a golden glove that has 7 different colored gemstones on it. And we were like, wait a minute. And then he's like, you see a broomstick that has golden writing at the handle and says Nimbus 2000. Like it was so like we were not expecting it.
So
And, like,
nerd paradise.
No, like there was like lightsabers, and there was like the Infinity Gauntlet stuff from Harry Potter. Like we were it got came to a point we were like, okay, do you have anything from Lord of the Rings? And he's like, oh, and he was like, and he just like read it. That was one of the coolest.
That was
like
very awesome.
It was so good.
So I'll tell y'all my best one, but y'all gotta promise up and down you're not gonna steal it, because if you know who I am, this next phrase pretty much sums up like everything about my entire being, which is I live by the mantra of raise hell, praise Dolly, and I love Dolly Parton more than like any single being on this planet possibly can. I have been her for Halloween on several occasions. I have rhinestoned 2 separate jumpsuits, and I love her. I love her so much. So I came up with this idea to be a druid bard who is essentially Dolly Parton, and like play it like real grassroots and like real barefoot, but like I'm going to work as many like Dolly Parton lyrics into it as I can, and like stories from her songs.
Yeah, she's a druid that only works 9 to 5.
She actually just came out with a song called 5 to 9, and it's all about
I've heard that.
empowerment. Also, she has a really good documentary on Netflix called Here I Am that came out in 2019. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. I love Dolly. I love Dolly with my whole heart. My God. And then the other one that I have, I've mentioned it on here before. I like the Dropkick Murphys, so I have based a character off the Spicy McHaggis jig. So it's a halfling, or no, it's a halfling bard who plays the bagpipes, who is only interested in women who weigh at least 400 pounds. So like giantesses and like.
Wait, is that one? Can we steal
women.
that one?
That needs to be in the
Can we
Giant Slayer
steal
campaign.
that one?
Yes, he does need to be in the Giant Slayer campaign.
Yes, he does. He does.
He's
Don't wanna
got
kill this
real
one.
conflicted feelings.
Oh, damn. I have a job to do, but also I really love you a lot. Damn it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Amazing.
I think so. So the 2 that immediately come to mind as far as pop culture references. One was the stream I ran last night. The 3 guys that I ran it for are all 3. Well, at least 2 out of the 3 of them are diehard Fast and Furious fans. So when I found out that they were the 3 that I was going to have on my first stream, I was like, I have to make this one shot Fast and Furious themed. And so I had like 20 more references in there that I didn't even get to make. Like every single other like hell wagon that you guys saw, their drivers had names, and their names were references to characters from.
Amazing.
So like when they met the guy he was like a huge Goliath, and he was introduced as Tom Toretto, not to be confused with Dom Toretto, Vin Diesel's character from Fast and Furious.
Well, your first draft, he was Din Diesel. I remember.
He was Din Diesel.
Din Diesel.
That's awesome.
Yeah, in the first one, and then I ended up swapping for the actual characters. But the one that I didn't come up with that was probably the most memorable was the end of the first like marathon recording session we did for Know Your Role. It turned into 3 episodes. We had no idea. I thought I was signed. I came up with this like serious character. I wrote this whole backstory for him, and we're in this adventure, and like we come in this little town, and we get sent into this swamp because there's this monster that's causing terror. And we get there, and Joe, our DM, is describing him. He's like, you see this like large humanoid, and he's got like greenish skin, and he's got like a dirty white tattered tunic on, and like a brown leather vest. And then Marvin, who plays Gorlax, goes, wait, is this fucking Shrek? And then all like it hit us that like, of course, Joe would take the like inaugural episode of our podcast and make it a quest for us to go and kill Shrek.
I'm so glad you said that, Nick. That was such a good moment.
I can tell you, I think I've said this to Nick. when I was listening to that, like I'm driving in the car, I'm on my way to work, and that like he gets to you're in a swamp, you see a humanoid, and I'm yelling in my car, "You're really doing Shrek right now!"
I often used to say that to people when I was like super trying to like rep and pull people in to know your role. I was like, look, just listen to the first 3 episodes. You will know by the end of the 3rd episode whether this is a show for you or not. Because if you're like, nope, I'm done, I'm out, it's not for me, it's Shrek. But other people are like, okay, this is what I signed up for.
Yep.
For that good Shrek content.
My
Nice.
favorite public example, like more widestream example of this. Does anybody listen to Dungeons and Daddies?
I have listened to
On my
some.
list.
Yeah,
not
It's
all.
on my list.
yeah.
Okay,
Heard of it.
so there's a part where one of the things they walk into is Mummy the Ride from Universal Studios. And they have to solve a puzzle, and it's like the thing that plays at the beginning of Mummy the Ride at Universal Studios.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so funny. And that's how they end the episode is they figure out that they're on Mummy the Ride from Universal Studios in the Forgotten Realms. That it like dropped through the same portal they did like into this dimension.
So good.
Amazing. I surprisingly haven't had a lot of games that have had a lot of pop culture references. I did one time, and I know a couple other people here have played with them as well. Back when Lawful Great Adventures was doing their one shots because they were taking a recording break because COVID and all the world shutting down and everything. And so you guys, when you played with them, or if you listened to it, you probably several times heard about the skiff, the sand skiff that was acquired. Well, I was in the episode where we acquired the sand skiff. And so every time I heard it referenced as a Bugatti, it just made me die. I was like, that's such a great description, like, because that's exactly the way I had pictured it in my head. So, yeah, it was like this, just imagining this like glass sand skiff, because in one of the episodes, well, in the episode that I was in, we actually were in a sand skiff chase with another one, and I wanted to make sure that we could keep track of it. And so I was playing a spellcaster, which is really rare for me in the first place. And basically she was like a street magician, like she wasn't like a magician. And so she basically casts an illusory spell on it and turns it like fluorescent pink. Like not ours, the one we were chasing, because we were like going through the woods and we wanted to make sure we could see it. So I was like, yep, now there's a bright pink Bugatti in the middle of the woods. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, Luna, that Bugatti, I played after you. I think it was either the stream or the one shot right after you or 2 after you.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that there was going to be a teeny tiny sand skiff because I played a character named Justice who
I
was
remember.
like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
So when he
You handled that
described
so well.
he gets in and he has this huge like warhammer like tucked up with his his knees like almost up to the windshield.
Yeah.
And then I was after that, and I was basically playing the rich daddy's boy, and I was just trying to be like, oh yes, no, I have a better one in the shop.
Yeah.
Like,
And I played after that, and they were talking, and they were.
I feel very left out.
I forgot the
You have
joke
made
that
it
was made, but
wrong.
they were talking about your character, Pat. So they're like, yeah, it's not that bad.
oh no, I saw the questions before. I'm sure that like him will come up, so we'll hold off on that.
Yeah.
one.
Not to take us off on a tangent, but that
Do it.
that format that Ben did with the this idea
Quest.
of doing connected one shots,
Yeah.
where
So good.
each group does something that in some way, shape, or form will affect the story that then the next group plays, whether they even realize it or not. Because I didn't know that Luna was the reason or was part of the group that like brought the whole skiff thing in, and so it's such a cool way to do things. Like right now my plan for Scry is to just keep doing a bunch of random ones, but
Yeah.
it would be really cool in the future to run this sort of like
Yeah.
series of one shots but all set in the same world where each group like influences in a way what the next group experiences.
Yeah.
That would be super cool. That's kind of what. Sorry, tangent again. What with the I forget the name. The Dreamscape Tower that Waffles and Syrup were running. It's like they're gonna run that same adventure over and over again, and like you get into this tower and like you can leave messages for the next party to come through. Be like, oh, just don't waste your time going into this room.
Yeah.
Or like there's something good in this room. Like yes, that it adds a whole cool element of like you feel like you're part of like a bigger thing. That's really cool.
Mhm.
That's kind of David and I play in a world that, and we're not mentioning a lot about it because it's kind of like Fight Club. Like you don't finish roles, you don't talk about Fight Club. But the world that we play in has like 8 different storylines going on now, but they're all loosely connected and they all tie back to a lot of the same things. And I think doing things like that is so refreshing for players, because if you have to step out for a session, you're not losing everything, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're playing in a world that has like all these different things going on, then you may not step into the same campaign when you can come back and play again. You might step in somewhere else, but like you still kind of understand what's happening. And I love that. I think that's super fun. And that's like it's like the most meta way to look at things, but also like as a writer, that's super cool. Cause then you can start like pulling plot points together, and that's I think that's beautiful.
So yeah, chasing those threads is like it's the best part of world building and everything. Like, and we like was referenced, like we in our own home world, we've been working on it for like over a decade. So now there's like splintered dimensions, and we've played like alternate versions of worlds, and we've got to do the best, deepest cuts of nerdery in our world, and I love it. I love it in other people's stuff. I love it in our stuff. It's amazing. I love those threads.
I'm so interested in y'all's world because like you've given like all of us like these really cool tastes of like, here's this supplement, here's this weapon, here's this, and it's like, this is all amazing. Like what's like these are just like the little offshoots. Like what do you guys like actually got like going on? I'm so like, whenever I talk to you and Keith about it, it's just like this is so big. Like
how much do we need to pledge to unlock like the full world?
That's a question. Yes.
We're going to kickstart the full campaign setting. We just wanted to make sure that you don't want to like put your first one out there and then fail like hideously. So we really wanted to make sure.
I highly doubt that would happen.
It would not happen.
I have my goal, Jess, is to be the #1 backer, because I think if Caitlin is in chat, I think I was the #1 backer on the Arcane Spectacles Kickstarter.
You beat me by about a minute.
And I know you were the first one to buy from Paradise's merch shop, because I was second by like a minute.
And I was #1 on the Shard Kickstarter, and so I will be #1 on the UO.
Oh,
I will be hitting that.
The gauntlet
Game
has
on,
been
man.
thrown.
what's that on the ground? It looks like a gauntlet.
The gauntlet. Yeah.
Go with your aggressive
I would
support.
like-
I love it. I'm here.
I would like everybody to try to beat Nick to that, actually. So really get the competition out there.
All right. You all heard it, chat. He's going to try to beat you all. So get your game faces and, you know.
So I think
Literally messaging Keith right now.
the correct way to do this is Jess, when you release that date for when it is, you need to tell Nick it's a day later.
Yes.
No.
Or even like 6 minutes later.
6
minutes later.
half an hour later.
Yeah, it's so
What is
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird that Jess said that their Kickstarter is starting at 10:06 a.m.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It's so
But
wild.
if it was like,
It happens all the time.
Yeah. Time zones are weird, man. All right, so I'm going to take a quick pause so that we can do our first giveaway. Yeah, we're already like a little behind like the giveaway schedule I wanted to be on, but it's fine because we started it later than I planned to anyway.
How do I hold all these giveaways?
I know. What do I do? How to giveaway?
There's gotta be a better way.
So yes, you can see Rae was just holding it up. She has done a mini paint job. We've got like 19 entries in right now. So exclamation point ticket if you want to get in a last minute entry. Otherwise, I'm going to do a quick close it and draw a winner. Looking for any last minute entries.
Nick, that photo of that gentleman trying to hold those limes might be the best photo ever taken of all time.
Star Shinobi says, have a Kickstarter to bid for times to be told about the campaign Kickstarter.
He is on another level.
I love that.
I was gonna say, wouldn't that be better as an eBay kind of thing?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to close the giveaway. And, did it close? There we go. And the winner is Doug.
Hey.
Cool,
Well done.
cool.
Hey, Doug.
Well done.
Congrats, Doug.
Good job, Doug. All right.
Congratulations.
So, I'm gonna get the next one set up. So while I get the next one set up, I'm gonna throw another question at you guys.
Did everyone answer the pop culture one? I guess we don't. Everyone
don't
finished
even
question
know
7 on
anymore.
the test? Before we move on, is everyone caught up?
David, for the rest of the stream, can you just do your butler voice that you did on the last episode?
Oh, that's amazing.
Master Nicholas. Of course, anything for you, sir. I wish I had more jowls.
Yeah.
All
Master
right.
Nicholas.
So this is a nice, easy one. While I finish getting the typing done, Sabrina Calkins jumped in and said, "I have a question for everyone. A nice, easy one for Jess to start. If you were an animal, what would you be?"
Oh, wow.
Jess has to answer
I
first.
know
Yeah, Jess has to answer
Yeah.
what I'm going to say. And she's right. Possum, obviously.
Yes.
I'm resilient like the possum, and I also like to think that I can't get rabies. So,
Jess, I have to ask you then, Jess. Have you picked up the possum supplement that I've seen floating around in the DMs guilds? Now,
Yeah,
I shouldn't be repping them because playing possum could be considered a direct competitor to disaster hamsters. But,
And now you're
but I
just going
did.
to segue right into that.
I also there's like a Pathfinder race that's like a possum folk.
Oh,
I don't even play Pathfinder, but I got that a while back too.
So, real quick,
But yeah,
I feel like this is important to share. Andy. Andrew, I don't know who that is. Andy
Who's
just
Andrew?
walked into the room.
Who's
Just
that?
walked into the room and flicked me off and walked out.
True brotherly love, as it should be.
Exactly. Sorry, animals. That's what we're talking about.
Well, I mean, Andy's an animal sometimes.
He is. He would definitely be like a clam or something stupid like that.
how dare you drag clams on this?
Walk
stream.
away.
No, let him say hi.
Oh wait. Oh, hold on. Let me just text him. Tell him to come back.
Andy, come back. Tell us what kind of animal you would be.
Animal you would be. Andy, come back. I think so there's two answers for this for me because like everybody who knows me tell me I would be a corgi because like little, very friendly, very short legs, very big booty. Like that all tracks. But I think like I feel like I would be a raccoon because like I'm happiest when I'm eating other people's trash. Like I love other people's drama. Snacks taste better at other people's houses. Like I've got no shame. I have bags under my eyes. I'm little. I growl. Like it all makes sense.
That tracks.
It tracks.
Hello,
Andy!
Andy!
Everybody.
TV.
Hello, Luna. Hello, Nick. Hello, Patch.
I'm purposefully not giving him a headphone so you can say all the mean things you guys want.
Oh man, Andy, that mother.
He's just eating a pie. Just walked into my room and just deep-throated a pie and left. What a jackass. Sorry. Those are great answers, by the way.
I can't follow Andy. It's fine.
That's why I told him to come in later.
Chat would like to know what kind of pie it was.
Well,
That's important.
yeah, I think it smells kind of like either key lime or coconut cream.
I was gonna say key lime was my guess. I mean, you guys are
Key lime would be like-
right?
We're in Orlando. Boom.
Amazing.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Go for it, Patch.
Okay, so animal. I'm gonna have to go with my favorite animal, which is the kangaroo.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love kangaroos. I mean, they're adorable, and I don't know if you know, but I am precious.
You are precious.
That's obvious.
Can confirm. Can confirm.
But I think the more important thing is that they've got the little pouch, and whenever I find someone in the community, it's like, oh hey, I'm learning, and I just want to take you. It's like, all right, I'm taking you. I'm putting you in my pouch. You're going to be my friend now. and we're going to be the best of friends. And then they eventually leave, and they grow up and leave. And then I'm like, okay, find someone else now.
That was beautiful, Patch.
I thought so.
It was.
I like that.
I just hope they couldn't get rabies. You got the actual backstory.
So can someone remind? Is this what animal we wish we could be, or we would be if we were an animal?
If you were an animal, what would you be?
So I can't think of one, and I asked Hillary, and she said she thinks I would be a walrus. And I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but that's the best answer that I have because I can't think of one. I don't know what I would be. I don't. I'm literally Googling animals. I Googled animals, and I'm just looking at all the animals, trying to see which one seems the most like me.
Just one word, animal. Just animals.
Animals.
Every animal.
Every animal.
I like Hillary. By the way, Hillary put in chat, I was joking.
Claimed she was joking.
Nick, I feel like you would be some sort of like a, like.
I get penguin vibes, actually.
I was
I can see
like
that.
a penguin.
Penguin.
Yeah.
I
I do have to wear a suit a lot for work.
You can be very dapper. You work very well when you're with groups of people.
You take care of your own offspring.
You take care of your own offspring.
I do sit on my baby for hours to keep her warm at a time.
Excellent.
You can catch fish with your
Very good
mouth.
fathering.
Yeah. And I actually do like the cold, so yeah, I guess penguin. And I'm wearing black and white, so
There you go.
There's
Penguin
my answer,
it is.
Sabrina.
Ta-da.
Penguin.
Beautiful.
Nicholas says you'd be a wombat.
wombat.
The druid dubs you a wombat.
Nice. I can do wombat.
Then
I want
have
to tell you
cube-shaped
that
poops.
I literally almost said wombat before everyone started talking about me.
I played a wombat in a game one time. I was the combat wombat.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Stop it.
Andy, go away.
Andy's
Andy's gonna start throwing food at David.
He might.
No, what
Hopefully
we're
it's
gonna
pie.
see is another hand coming with like a headphone jack trying to plug into.
Should we just get him on here? Like, we'll try to squeeze him in the same frame as David.
So squeezed up. As long as he brings me another pie, I think I'm okay with that. But
I need to know the story behind Combat Wombat.
Yes.
Ditto.
So I was playing a game over on Waffle Maple Syrup's channel, and we were running the, I'm gonna butcher the name of the system, Mitch Tim's. Yeah.
got it. One.
And like Star also was in it, and Manda and Bonnie, and oh my god, it was just a blast of a game. We were all the whole premise of the game is that we were animals. So like
Was that the one with Karen the squirrel?
that was the one with Karen the squirrel,
Okay.
who was played by Bonnie. And that was priceless. And yes, I was a combat wombat named Cornelius. So he was very, very timid and he kind of talked like this, but he also would kick your ass if needed. So
It's the
trying to
quiet
think
ones
of,
that you always have to worry about.
yeah, it's true. That was the whole idea, actually. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a more perfect name for a wombat than Cornelius. I don't think I can.
Yeah, that was just it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, if I had the opportunity, I also pictured him in a top hat with a monocle, but you know.
Excellent.
But I do have plush wombats that I actually stuck on the back of my chair during the stream. So
Very cute.
yeah. Yes.
Dang, little tangent. Bonnie Jean had like one of the most dope RP moments I've ever seen in a game. Like we were playing, it was Into the Mist. We were playtesting Into the Mist.
Yep.
And
I think I know what you're talking about too.
yeah, we were on a boat going somewhere, and we were all just trying to like messing around. And she was just like, "I'm gonna like talk to this alligator," or like she like, found an alligator somehow. Like somehow there's all of a sudden an alligator that Bonnie Jean is talking to, and we're like, "Oh, just don't do that. Like run away. Like this is terrible for you." And she's like,
Don't do
"Nah,
that."
I got this." And
She was
she
playing
either
a
got
barbarian. For
Yeah.
the record. She was not playing a
Oh.
druid. She
Nope.
was playing a
She's playing
barbarian.
she had no GD business talking to this dang alligator, and I think she got like a nat 20.
She rolled a nat 20. Absolutely rolled a nat 20. And
And then,
Yeah.
It was like the first nat 20 of the game too, I think.
It was awesome. And then like we're all like up on the boat, like weapons raised, and then she's like, "No, I got this." And we're like, "Oh, okay." And we calm down. And she befriended this giant crocodile, and then Nick, expert DM over here, brought it back in like the most crucial moment, and like saved. It was
incredible.
It was
yeah, it was like 30 minutes later, and her character was getting dragged underwater due to some really bad rolls that she was having. And then so out of nowhere, this crocodile from like 20 minutes before that she had gotten this nat 20 with showed up, like snatched the enemy and just like pulled it into the water and was gone.
It was phenomenal. It was so good.
Beautiful.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel
The
like Bonnie
best
G
part
would be a
about that,
crocodile.
yeah, it's because Bonnie G would be a crocodile. The best part of that, David, I don't know if I ever told you guys this. I threw a vague description of like, I was just describing the scene. I was like, oh, you see, the trees and the mist, and I think I mentioned like occasionally you see shapes slithering through the water, like just like it's a little bit of ambiance. And then Bonnie Jean was like, "Can I go look at one of those shapes?" And I was like, "Yeah, roll for it."
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
The best part of D&D or TTRPGs is just that unpredictability.
Group storytelling element.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We're all in a good line of work, y'all. It's
It's like the best line of work ever. Now I just need to start getting paid for it.
Yeah, I realized as soon as I said that, I'm like, this isn't really a line of work. We're all in a good hobby.
Yeah, it's a passion project.
That's right. Yes, I like that the best.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break. We've already made it through the first hour, and we have so many questions. Oh my god!
Yay.
So we better start to hustle.
So
Sorry,
yes,
guys.
so we're gonna hustle.
Another hour.
Yeah, because we have another hour after this, so we'll go back to it. Stick around during the break. You can enter the giveaway for one of the blind dice bags. We're gonna give away 2 of them as soon as we come back from the break. Exclamation point ticket to enter for that. There's 19 entries in so far. And then we've got a couple more giveaways to do after the break. So stick around, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
Don't forget to release the water elemental.
My
And we're back. We figured we should probably come back from break at some point. We were like hanging out over there, like having a conversation and break, and I'm like, oh yeah, we should probably go back to the stream.
We're doing a thing.
Stunt Monkey I would very much like to see a natural 42 tonight, so hopefully that happens.
42.
Yes, I was recording a podcast with D&D and Big D several weeks ago, and they are well known for their audio issues. For those of you listening to the ears edition of this, I am definitely putting that in finger quotes, and so I rolled one, and they were like, "What's that?" And I was like, "It was a natural 42." And they were like, "Great, we'll go with it."
love that.
Luna, I recently played played a stream for Jess the DM's birthday. God, sorry, my brain doesn't work. Charity and our DM of D&D big D&D.
D&D and Big D.
D&D and Big
D&D
D.
and Big D. Yeah, he even told us this before the stream that he has this thing called audio problems.
Yep.
Where, like when a player has a particularly bad roll, he'll be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, what was that?" And even though he told us, I rolled like a 2 at one point. He was like, "Sorry, what did you say?" And I was like, "It was a 2. I rolled a 2." And he was like,
With the modifier, it's 3.
he's like, "Did you say 22?" And I was like, "Oh, it's that."
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a fun stream to play in.
Yeah.
Or such a fun game to play in.
Yeah.
That 42 just makes me think of like Natty Light, like a 40 of Natty Light. Like, that's shiver inducing. Why would you want that for somebody?
Okay. All right. So let's dive back into the question. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on, tangent real quick. Sorry,
Oh,
you're talking
I gotta draw
about
giveaway winners. Go ahead, Tom.
Natty Lights.
Natty Light.
I was working on a movie. No, this is. I have a lot of bad stories. This is not a bad one. I was working on a movie once where one of the sponsors had the money people of the movie had access to just a absolute insane amount of Colt 45s. I don't know how they had them. They literally pallets. They would bring them to set, and there'd be these pallets of Colt 45s, and I've never had one. And they were like, "Hey, you live in an apartment with a lot of like fraternity boys. Do you want these?" I'm like, hey, "Of course, dude." Those are still in my apartment. We've not drank in the yeah. Gross.
Amazing.
Sorry, I cut you off.
I know it's fine because you cut me off, and then I went, "Oh shoot, we got to do a giveaway." So last call for the first 2 blind bags of dice! ! Ticket. Oh my gosh, we just got rated. Holy moly.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome in, Raiders. You guys are just in time. Cronsbury, thank you so much for bringing all your friends.
Thank you.
You guys are just in time. If you want to drop in real quick, we're just about to give away 2 blind bags of dice. So so I would love to be able to give those away. And so ! Ticket. Hi, Cronsbury. So good to see you. Thanks for bringing all your friends.
Wow, they're
Willy Wonka vibes
so
from
excited.
Cronsbury.
Great. The Cronsberries taste like cranberries.
So true story, Cronsbury is actually a baker and always loves to post pictures of the things that she makes in Discord. And I'm like, I swear, and she is in Canada. And one of these days, I'm like, I am going to, like, once the border opens, I'm going up there and I'm buying everything.
I will take the menu, please.
Right? I will take yes.
Yeah, I was just like, what would you like to order? Yes.
Yes.
Everything.
All right. I am going to, looks like we got a bunch more giveaways, so that's great. Entries. I'm going to close the giveaway now. And we're going to pick 2 winners this time. The first winner is... Oh no! They just went to bed.
What happened?
The winner was Sabrina Culkins. So they just left. Well, we'll draw 2 more winners.
2 more winners.
2 more.
Oh, Brianna!
Brianna!
Hey!
So that's 1. And Dungeon Glitch is the second winner. Yay!
Congratulations.
I want you to know I want to order all of your shirts, and the only reason I haven't is because I cannot pick
Yes.
just one. There's so many.
Okay, you guys
They're
remind me,
so
I
cool.
need to look at Dungeon Glitch's stuff because it's apparently amazing.
It's
I need to look at
amazing.
Brad.
Dungeon Glitch, I'm sorry that I haven't looked yet. Please forgive me.
All right, Nick, I am getting yours up and running. So I'm going to give you guys the next question, and then I will get the giveaway going again. So as soon as you guys see that drop in chat, it will be a copy of Into the Mists for Shard Tabletop. And that was that's going to be given away by Nick. So thank you, Nick, for that.
Yeah,
that's an adventure that Nick wrote, and a bunch of the people here actually got to play test. So
Amazing.
yeah.
And it's just so folks know, it's third level, but it's like a 4 to 8 hours depending on how much you like to RP and stuff. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Or depending on how many brooms of flying you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
I
right.
am sorry about that, by the way.
It's my fault for saying you could take any uncommon magic item.
Yeah, that was...
I just took the Stone of Luck. Like that was I'm fine.
I just like flying around as a kobold.
It was perfect. It was fantastic.
Who doesn't?
All right, so so that's open. A couple of people have just started entering. If you don't have an account with Shard Tabletop, that's okay. You can sign up for one. They still have free accounts, so you can still access your game that way. All right. So next question is, let's see, from Jason C. Art. Have you run different campaigns in the same setting and had one influence the other? Yeah.
Yes, I will jump on that one.
Go
Because
for
one
it.
that steps out in my mind pretty heavily. We had a campaign where we were playing children. Basically, we were all 16-year-old. It was kind of like an Avatar style thing where it's oh, these kids have to save the world. They're the special chosen ones. But we just really boned it up the entire time, epically failed on a consistent basis, made all the wrong decisions because we were 15 and 16-year-old characters. And the world just started to collapse because the chosen ones were really terrible at being the chosen ones. And so the very next game that we played was these older heroes that then had to come clean up the mess that the chosen ones had made because they completely just ate it when they were trying to save the world.
That's incredible.
Pretty magnificent.
Dang,
Yeah.
that is such a good story starting point.
Yeah.
Y'all messed up last time.
Ooh, you ate it. Yeah, it was not good. It was
That's really cool.
You done
Real
effed
bad.
up, AA Ron.
You done?
The only thing that I've done kind of like that was, at one point I ran, I run Descent into Avernus off air, and at one point there's a really cool part in Descent into Avernus that I just really enjoyed, and there was some people who were like, "Oh, we're interested in playing D&D. Would you mind DMing for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool." And I just basically pulled this encounter out of Descent into Avernus and ran this one shot through that. And I think at some point I had made a little reference that for the actual playthrough of Descent into Avernus for the one shot, but I haven't really done a whole lot of world building and world exploring and running through different systems like that, but it sounds really cool.
I never have, but I've always thought it would be really fun to run two and of course I'm me who now apparently needs to start DMing, so I guess this is what I'll be doing at some point.
You have the subscription.
I do have the subscription now, yes. I've always thought it would be really cool to run groups through the same campaign simultaneously, but separate from each other, so that the things that one group does affects the other group and vice versa. Or a group of good people versus a group of evil people or something like that. I just thought that would be really kind of a fun thing to experience.
That sort of reminds me real quick, and then I'll let someone else answer. The From Afar podcast and Good Better Quest, there is a collaboration coming up in the near future that exact thing is going to happen.
Nice.
They both arrive on different parts of the island and have to meet in the middle and fight something. So stay tuned. I'll let you know how that goes, Luna.
Yeah,
Luna.
Please do.
I've heard someone, this is on a Reddit thread years ago, but someone who did that, they ran two games where there were two parties, but each party thought they were the good guys and that the other people were the villains, but they were both being manipulated by the real villain, which was this guy that was like manipulating things behind the scenes. So like they would hear about this group that went and raided this village and like caused all this destruction, but that group had been told that that village was, you know, oh well, they're Tiamat cultists or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like I heard something about that. Maybe I read the same thread a long time ago.
The thread, yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's a great idea if you know how to manipulate.
Yeah,
all those
I don't, but it would be really fun to learn.
Well, like Luna, I am not really a DM. Before I did, as a joke for Discount, we did our April Fools. I DM'd that game. And then the time before that I DM'd was in college, which was years ago. And
just like me.
Yeah. So I think the only things that I know that there are like certain games that are in the works. Sorry, I'm stealing Nick and David's thunder a little bit. I know there is a collaborative effort that does, I believe, have impact on the Discount world. So yeah, I'm just stealing your thunder a little bit. Look for that in the future. A crossover. Just wink, wink.
Steal away.
Yeah, the funny thing about that patch, David and I didn't know that was going to influence the Discount world. We were like, we came up with this crazy story and this like epic arc and everything, and then after we had done that, Chris was like, hey, so I'm actually going to do this, like based on the stuff that we had come up with.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be really exciting to see that come to fruition.
It'll happen. Sorry, to steal a little more thunder, Nick. You're not gonna have any thunder left.
He spent all of his thunder yesterday on his inaugural trade.
Right?
That's true. It is coming. We are dangerously threatened close finishing up the post-production of said collaboration. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you a little bit of thunder back.
No, just all right. Let's just finish this thunderstorm once and for all. So what we're talking about here, in case anyone chats, like, what are these guys mumbling about? We have a project. It is a collaboration between the Know Your Role, Discount Dungeons, and From Afar podcast with Chris from Discount Dungeons as the lead DM, 2 players from each of the podcasts, and then David and I as kind of co-backup DMs. We ran the whole thing through Shard, which made it like so much easier for us to do. And I can't really give any other details out yet, but we will have some stuff to share hopefully in the coming weeks. Just starting to tease out like characters and stuff, but it's it was really fun. It literally was like 6 months in the works.
And now at this point it's like over a year because someone is slow at editing. I don't know who that is, but someone is very slow at editing these things. So.
Anyway, Luna, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to turn this into a little.
No, it's fine.
Or everything. But yeah, it is relevant to the question. It will influence another part of the story.
It will.
It is totally relevant. Plus, I like it when you guys like promote your stuff because I like to know what's coming up too. So, yeah.
Hopefully, y'all like it. It should be pretty fun. But
yeah, I think it should be fun.
Right. Anybody else? Did anybody not get to answer that question?
I didn't, but I don't have an example. I have never done anything where like other than that, where like one of my characters influenced another campaign. But I think it's a really cool idea.
Sure. All right.
Good
Well,
idea.
this next question I think is actually a really great one because we've never been asked it before, at least not to my recollection. TBM Christopher would like to know, is there a character you've played that just didn't work out? What was it about the character that didn't click, and what did you do when you realized it?
That is a phenomenal question.
It's a really good one. Yeah, Patch.
I need to jump in on this immediately because if there's anyone from Discount in the chat, they will know immediately what I'm talking about when I say soft hoof.
Oh God.
So this was actually before we started recording for Discount Dungeons in general, before campaign 1 even started. This was like pre-session 0 stuff. We, as a joke, played a game that it was, your stats are normally 4d6, drop the lowest, and you can shuffle them around. We did 3d6 straight.
Oh, no.
I did not roll above a 10
Oh,
for any stat.
no.
So then Chris in his like ever like kindness goes, you can roll again. I didn't roll above like an 11 or a 12.
Oh no!
It was bad. Like my highest stat I think was strength with like a 12. I was a cleric.
Oh gosh.
So
God.
so we did this dungeon crawl, and it was like I played him as I don't want to get near anything because I feel like if I get a paper cut, I'm just gonna drop. So needless to say, so a lot of the group, loved their characters in some way, and they ended up, most of them, being transferred over to discount. The only ones that changed were Vero's character Anna. Made some like adjustments, but like a general gist. And then I went, no, Soft Hoof like just died somewhere. He tripped on a pebble and like broke his neck or something. And then a Tudak came in from there. But yeah, that was when the character just did not work. I was just sitting there going like, I felt useless. I couldn't do anything.
Oh, it's such a sad feeling.
Yeah.
I played in a campaign. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No.
Sorry.
No. This is
Okay.
your ball, baby doll. You go first.
Go.
No, when I'm making a character, normally what I'll do is I get like the person in my head before anything else. Like I've already got like the first 3 chapters of their novel worked out in my head, everything. Like I know who the person is more than I know anything else, like the stats or anything. And it makes it really easy for me to roleplay. That's how I develop my characters. And then I roll and then work that around, like the class and everything, who this person is. There was one time where I got in my head that I wanted to play like this assassin kind of monk or something, because I hadn't really played them before. And I just could not picture her as a person in any way whatsoever. And I had great roles. I had like everything that I needed to be a cool assassin person, but I just didn't have like the woman that she was locked in. So we sat down at the table, and I'm surrounded by everybody that I always play with constantly, but I had nothing to say. I was just like, it was like a first time gamer all over again. I had nothing to say. I just kind of sat there. And when things came around to hit, I'd take a swing at them, but I was like, this is the least enjoyable role-playing moment I've ever had. So we did a break, and I go into the kitchen with Keith, and I'm like, I can't play this character. He's like, no, you can't. He's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't have the feel for her, at all. So he's like, it's okay, do you have a backup character? And I was like, yeah, I have a backup character that I've been thinking about. So we come back from the break, and he was kind enough to have that character just mauled by like vicious bears. So I got to bring in the new character. That's what a good DM does. He mauls you with bears if you need to be mauled by bears.
That's so sweet.
That's putting a new turn on killing them with kindness.
Yeah, he did. It was mercy.
I also
mercy killing.
I think I need that on a shirt. A good DM will maul you with bears if you need to be mauled by bears.
When you need it.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, can somebody get on
the
that?
next character I brought in was like
Dungeon
one of
glitch.
the most memorable characters, so it was nice. It was good to get that one out of the way. But yeah, that was like the worst role-playing experience ever, and it was like I'd been playing for like 7 years probably at that point, so there was really no excuse for it. Just didn't stick.
I think that's such a cool thing. Like when you can find a DM or a table that will allow you to do that, or that you also have like the confidence to just be like, yeah, this isn't working, and like because I feel like there's like a lot of people have been in those situations where it's like this is exactly working, but I'm gonna power through it, and then they don't have fun. That kind of brings the mood down for everyone, and the DM's trying to make that's cool. That's a really cool story.
I was in a campaign one time that I was joining later than everybody else. And the DM was very insistent on not doubling up on classes. So, like, there was already a warlock, there was already a cleric, there was already a druid. You could do these 3 other things. And then she was also, like, very stringent about races, that she didn't want 2 of the same race in the party. There's 8 other people in the party. So, like, I was given this list of things I couldn't do, and the way that I character create is like I come up with like one nugget of an idea, and then I start wrapping stuff around it. Like, I want to play a sentient hat piloting a mannequin. Like that's something that I want to do.
Now I want to
like,
do that too.
Get these things David, you're right. It's like those are the ideas that I get, and then I just like work them into things. And having yeah, I'm sorry. I broke David Tillstra. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I muted myself as I was laughing. Keep going.
But being handed a list of things that like I couldn't do made it more difficult. And then like it was one of those stories that they were very like, well, you would have been from here, not here. Like they were very insistent on like the details of their world coming through, and I would ask like, okay, well, like where would this be? And they're like, I don't know, make a place up. And then it was like the wrong place that you made up. So I played that character for a little while, but I never clicked with it. I'm like, you know, I did it, but it wasn't fun. Like it wasn't a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think I always try to, whenever I have someone that's going to join one of my campaigns or just someone that's looking for advice about a character, I usually try to say, before you think about the ancestry or the race or the class or the subclass, like, what's the story that you want to tell with your character? Because if you start there, I feel like everything else flows so much more naturally. And so like in mine and Hillary's home game that we haven't played it for over a couple of years now, but it was like one of the longest running games I was in, and I like wanted to play an older character. I didn't know what like age or what race or anything, but I wanted it to be like someone at least a century old. And I also wanted them to have a child, because I'd never played a parent before. And like it ended up, I played kind of like an older gnome wizard. He not for a gnome, he was like 100 something, so he wasn't ancient, but and that was just one of those things where I think if I had gone into it, I wouldn't have come to the idea to play an older character with a child. I would have been like, oh, I'm a wizard, so I guess I'll be like an elf or something that like makes the most mechanical sense. So I know that wasn't the question, but I just think it helps to avoid getting into those situations when you can think about the story first.
Yeah.
Well, it just gives you so much more to like pull off of.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like there's the way like D&D 5e like specifically, I know there's so many more other systems out there, but like the way it's set up is like, you get a lot of actions to do in combat. It's like these are all the cool combat things you can do. So like anytime you're not in combat, it's like, oh, what do I do? If I just wanted to play a druid, like a drow druid, like most of the stuff it gives you is like for like just one part of the game. But if you go through character creation with like story first and like what like drives you and what makes you want to play the game, I think that's just like super helpful. So
yeah, I think Tim from our Paradise RPG always talks about, it's why he always plays human fighters, because he's like it forces you to come up with like an interesting backstory, because like you're the human fighter, you are the kind of bread and butter. It's, you can't be like, oh, I'm an elven wild magic sorcerer and my father was a genie. You're like, I was a mercenary, and you have to kind of like, it forces you to get away from the mechanics of your class. But
does anyone else here play in a system that uses narrative dice and you have to build a character using narrative dice?
I don't think so.
Okay. No, so the Star Wars TTRPG uses narrative dice. So whenever you're doing your character, you have like a pool that you can buy like characteristics from. But a lot of what your character is, what they do, and how the DM spins the story is based on you digging into your backstory. So you literally cannot come to the table to play. Like, Atomic Zero is our DM for that, and there was like a week of us like going back and forth, and like my character has this big rich backstory, because that's how those type of games work, because you're not looking for, rolling a certain number to make something happen. It's like you can succeed, you can fail, you can have a triumph, it can be a catastrophic fail, you can succeed, but there's like two things that'll give you disadvantage. Like, it makes it so much more complex, and building characters in that system requires you to come with a hefty backstory. And like, I'm wordy anyway, so it was good. It was good doing that. But like, I play like the face of the group, and it's a Twi'lek smuggler, and like very much like schmoozy Lando Calrissian kind of vibes. And then, you know, it's so interesting if you play in a system that makes you use narrative as part of how the actual story arc will work.
That's cool. I want to try that.
Yeah.
I do have to say, so when that stream is happening, me and two of our other channel mods usually hang out in a voice chat together and watch the stream. So anybody's welcome to come and join us if you would like. But we'll be watching, and we'll watch the dice roll, and like, you can literally hear us all go, ooh.
Yeah.
You don't know how it's going to be bad, but you know it's going to be bad.
But we know it's going to be bad.
And there's a neat thing in this system called obligation. So we all have to have hooks in our storyline that would pull us back into our past. So you have to confront something. And before every game, the DM makes a roll, and then he like messages us on the side of whether an obligation has not been hit or an obligation is hit. And you can sell for higher obligation to get things. And I think as a group right now, we're at like 90% of like fulfilling obligation. So like, it's interesting because when it happens, it like makes characters like confront things in their past. And again, that's part of that like narrative-based mechanic in that game.
That sounds super interesting.
It is super interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. Let's see. Next question. Creamy Nougat. What was your guys and gals' first experience in TTRPGs? Way back when I was a child.
I'm just laughing because I just saw in the chat that how Apache broke down my entrance was she shows up, sits down on Wolf's Blood's lap, and plants a kiss on him.
Pretty much. That's pretty much how it happened. There's a clip of it somewhere on here if anybody wants to see it.
It was pretty stellar, I will say.
It was amazing.
What was the question?
The
Oh my
question
God.
was, what was your first experience with TTRPGs?
Mine was
Grand
Hero
question.
Quest, which isn't really a TTRPG,
Oh,
but
yeah.
So
we kind of played it like one. It was like a family game that we played, and so we each had our own little like individual like character boxes that had like the little special abilities you could do on your cards and stuff. And we made it kind of a narrative thing, even though it absolutely was not at all. So I would say that was the first kind of like, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Hero Quest when I was like 11 or 12.
Hell yeah,
So.
way to go, Hero Quest.
Kudos to Hero Quest then.
I think the first experience I had with TTRPG or D&D, I mean, I've really only played D&D. I've played a few other things now, but one night I was just at home and Andy came home and he just dropped the starter kit down. He's like, "All right, come here." And I was like, "Okay." and
Such
I think
great influence.
yeah, I mean, he's my older brother, but he has a lot of influence on me. I think I had like an Adventure League sheet and he had like a 3.5e character sheet, and like we were just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, do we get all these skills? And it took us like 6 days to figure out how to make character sheets, and we finally did it and we got it. And I think I was playing I think my very first character was a rock gnome druid, a one-shoe stumbleduck, and he had a camel that rolled around with him. Or maybe he was a ranger then, because he had
Was he in the same party as Christian's character Butt Sparkles or something?
Butt Nipples the Stellar.
Butt Nipples the Stellar. That is, Butt Nipples is a legend, and I don't know if you all have seen it. Ptolemech drew a picture.
Oh my god!
Of,
Yeah, it was after the last episode Andy was on.
It is it is nightmare fuel to
Yeah, it's horrifying.
It is. I hate it.
Because he was drawn as the copper tone baby.
Underwear is getting pulled down.
Ptolemach has also drawn a horrifying picture of me as like the little Debbie snack. It's somewhere on my Twitter. Yeah.
Ptolemach, keep away from me.
No more.
Stay away.
Yeah, I think we were doing Lost Mines of Phandelver, and it ended with, I think the whole party got killed by Clark, the bugbear, and then my camel like backflipped over a fire and like stomped on Clark and killed him and something. And then I was just like, wait, this game is gonna be around for a while. There's some wild shit. Oh, sorry, wild stuff you can do in this system. I think that was my first one. I forget. There was a couple blurred stories that kind of go together that are very similar. We didn't know what we were doing at all.
No.
Yeah, we still don't know what we're doing.
Does anyone?
That's
Truth.
I will say, I think the memory's hazy because I was like 10 or 11 years old. I played some form of D&D, what we thought was D&D. I think it was like using 3rd edition, and it was like we were really. You need like a PhD to understand 3.5 like D&D. Like it's a whole other thing. So we played, but I played that and a little bit of the old Star Wars, but it's all like lost in just a haze of childhood memories. But when I got back into D&D, I want to say it was either the first or the second Valentine's Day after Hillary and I had started dating, like 10 years ago. And she got me the red starter set, the 4th edition starter kit, which I have around here somewhere. Because I'd been talking about it. Like we had like a friendly local gaming store, and I'd go there and look at board games, and I'd peer over at the table where people were playing D&D, and so she finally was like, "Yeah, just do it." And, it just came with like this was back when this was 4E. So I played like 1 game and then 2 and then 3, and I kind of became like the main DM of like our group of friends, and eventually I've converted. Like Samaj, who was on the stream last night, and he was like in one of my first games, and he ended up becoming a DM. Joe, the DM of Know Your Role. So I've been like spreading my DM virus so that I can continue, so that I can be a player. But yeah, so Hillary is the one who really like realistically got me back, and now I have like an irresponsible amount of D&D books.
No such thing.
Thank you, Hillary.
Yeah.
Good job, Hillary. All right. Well, we need to draw a giveaway winner. So we're gonna do that real quick.
That's good, because my answer is not wholesome. Like,
Okay, good.
Everybody.
Mine is not great either.
Yeah.
Mine's been told on this stream like 1,800 times already, so I'm not even gonna. Whatever. My kid was a baby. That's all you need to know. So
Once upon a time. I'm sorry.
Once upon a time.
Not long ago.
This is a story all about how no.
Yeah.
All right. Last call for a copy of Into the Mists for Shard Tabletop.
It's worth it.
It is.
Yeah.
It's baller.
All right. I'm gonna close the giveaway.
Man loves a woman. Way back. Let me tell you, son. TTRPGs. When a man loves a woman.
Just K the
Very
gamer.
When a dungeon.
Hey,
Just
congratulations.
K.
My dungeon loves a dragon.
So we will get the winners in touch with the people who are providing the giveaways. Yay, there's Just K. So Just K, if you want to either, I don't know if you can get in touch with Nick already or whatever. But anyway.
Yeah, I can message them if I can message them on Twitter. And
Okay,
get them
perfect. Perfect. All right. We will make sure that happens. All right. So I'm gonna offer up another question while I get another giveaway up and running again.
We have more giveaways.
We have more giveaways.
Yeah.
We have
Oh my
3 more blind dice,
And
bag,
David,
dice, something. I don't know. There's blind bags and dice involved. We have 3 more of them to give away.
And David, as a surprise, we've
Mystery.
thrown you in as another giveaway, a date with David.
Let's do it. Let's hang out. Who wants to hang out
What do
with
I need to do? What do I need to do? That face is so handsome.
me? We'll play
My
Super Smash
God.
Bros. And drink waters together because that's what we do as adults.
Truth.
All right. There we go. So that giveaway is up and running. Exclamation point ticket if you would like to win one of 3 blind bags of dice. I don't know why I keep
Everyone
making
wants
that.
a date
Like,
with David.
yeah, right.
Hey, well, yeah, let's do it. If you guys want to do it, let's do it. Let's hang out. Let's do it.
I will be the
I'm
first
afraid.
person
Yeah,
to bid.
I will spam that button. Let's go.
Right.
I definitely talked about David so much at one point before Hillary knew who David was. She's like, "Do you have a man crush on this guy?" Like,
Oh, well, I still
but
talk
she
about
also
you.
thought David had a very sexy voice before she actually knew who David was too. So in a way, we both had a crush on you, David.
Well, there you go, David.
Ooh,
All right.
David can't handle the praise.
But you're so cute and you're so funny. And
Oh,
like
thank you.
you're just a delight every time.
Yeah, my goodness.
Oh yeah, sorry. Was it
yeah.
a day with David or a date with David that I'm bidding
I'll
on?
take it.
Uh,
I'll take it either way.
I feel like yes.
Yeah, whatever you want. Dealer's choice, I guess. Whatever this giveaway ends up being.
We
I
will.
am-
How about if we save that? We'll auction it off for charity.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's
I'm super
smart.
down with that.
That's
There we
smart.
go.
What's our question?
The question is, this one is from Katie Machin, and Katie would like to know
Thanks,
what's
Katie.
this, and I'm going to read it the way she wrote it. What's y'all's preferred method of reviving a downed, dead character? Do you stick with a revivify, or do you get a little more creative with it?
Well asked. That was good. I feel like I think I'm in like the minority here. I think character deaths, whilst are necessary, should happen very few and far between. So when it does happen, I feel like in my opinion, the only reason a character should die should be for some pretty intense story reasons. So in that same hand, I feel like if a character dies for story reasons, they can be revived for story reasons as well. It's kind of the way I look at it. I know a lot of people are like, "What? You don't kill people?" I'm like, that's not my style. But I think, I mean, if you have a revivify and you can make it look really cool and make it like really epic and memorable in that moment, go for it. But I feel like all of us here are very creative, wonderful, amazing individuals, and we can challenge us all. Get more creative with it instead of just get back up.
Yo!
You alive again?
TBM Christopher says, disconnect the party member, blow into the cartridge, and hope they reboot.
Yeah, it always worked for me.
I played a cleric once that was a dwarf, so she had brewing supplies, and I had the DM agree that I had like skunky beer and we could use it as like smelling salts.
Oh my gosh. That's
That'll
amazing.
That'll wake you up real quick.
Yeah, like they
Oh.
could only pop up with like a 1, but like that would get you.
Mhm.
That would
The
get
Colt
you.
45.
Is that Colt 45? No, we all have that thing. For me, it's Jameson. I drank too much Jameson, and so this story I'll tell sometime, but the long and the short of it is I ended up in a very nice gay bar in Springfield, and then like years later I went to a gay bar in Chicago, and they're like, "Oh, you were the girl on the bar in this bar in Springfield." And I was like, "Oh shit, that was me." I don't remember that, but it has got me free drinks, so
Well,
but it's the smell of Jameson for me. Jameson did me dirty.
Jaeger.
Ugh.
Just gin in general. Just
I was so fascinated by that story that I actually forgot what the original question was.
Revivify.
preferred method
Sorry.
of reviving a character.
Right. So
Yes.
I'm with you, David. I do not like to kill a character due to just a couple of bad rolls. Like I don't like
Yeah.
for a goblin scout. I just happen to roll 2 20s on, and you're a level 2
Yeah.
character. Oh, you're dead. And you know, I know there are some players that like.
Yeah.
I've seen like some DMs where they like rip their player character's sheet in half when they die because
Oh.
it's this like I know that there's different schools of thought here, and I'm
Mm.
more like I'm more for the narrative. And like, I also like to make sure I at the very beginning of my campaign, I just straight up ask my players, are you okay with character deaths? And if you're not, that's totally fine. That doesn't mean you have like this invulnerability mode where like you can do whatever you want, but I will handle things differently. And so when I've had 2 characters died in my Waterdeep game, but in both cases they were able to come back. Once was because of a revivify, and the other was because he made a deal with his god. And that was kind of my opportunity. I was like, that was my meta game of letting the player know, hey, you can go into the afterlife. Like the god was like, hey, I'm not going to stop you, but I think there's something like that you have left to do. And the deal was like he went back, but he lost all memory of who he was. He basically went back as like a new person with no idea. So he kind of got reincarnated. And so I think that you can do a simple revivify, and it doesn't take away from like the gravity of death, I don't think. But I also know that some people like Matt Mercer, they'll do this whole like ritual where, you know, it's there's a DC and you have to like bring an item that's important and do something. I think that can be cool too.
Well, that kind of makes it like narrative. Like it's not just like, all right, come on, get back up. Like I was playing an Adventure League game once, and one of the characters died, and like it was really cool at the table because like everyone came together and they found the proper components, and they made it all really cool. But at the end of the day, it was just like, all right, we got him back, and there was no really emotion behind it. And I think if you can get some emotion behind it, that's usually a little more impactful. But
I do like what Bat Duck said in chat, though. He said that death should be a consequence, and I absolutely agree with that. Because, like, Luna has played in a game with me where people decided to, like, push the envelope, and out of character, I'm like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you positive? Are you sure? And they're like, yes, yes, yes. And then they got in trouble, and, like, one almost died, and they were like, I didn't think that would happen. And it's a good way to teach people that actions have consequences. Because if you're playing with someone that, like, most times the people that you curate to your table are going to have some level of respect for you, but like there are some people that have a very hard time giving up control over something they consider quote unquote theirs. So even though they're participating in a shared space, they see all their actions as right. So to roll in a character like that, sometimes, you know, if it's someone who's like, well, you know, I slapped the tavern keeper, and you're like, okay, well, he calls the calls the guard, and they're like, well, then my bear attacks the guard, and then this person and their bear ends up dead, and they're sad about that. And it's like, your actions have consequences. Like, you didn't have to make these choices. So I agree with that like that it's not necessary all the time, and it shouldn't be used as a way to like punish a player. But if they're not getting it and they're becoming problematic, then I don't know any way with more gravitas than to like let their own actions hang them.
I also think that it helps with immersion. Like we play, and granted, we've been playing with the same group of people for a very long time, but the biggest thing that we want when we play a game is immersion into our characters. And so death is a consequence. It's a real consequence to our actions, but you're aware of that going into it. And very rarely has it ever come up where it's like, oh, you know, you got killed by a goblin or something. Generally, it is something, and maybe it's just because of the style of games that Keith runs. But it is generally it's an impactful thing when it does happen, which means it also has to be very impactful when it's reversed. So in order to come back, there needs to be a good reason for it. And sometimes it is like a kind of like a, you know, you did right by this really divine being a while ago, and now they're going to do you a solid. Sometimes it could be that simple, but typically speaking, it takes a lot from the surviving characters if they want to bring that person back to get them back. So it's either another quest on their own, or it's like you happen to have made the right connections along the way that it makes it a possibility. But, you know, having it not be, I'm dead and I know I'm going to come back immediately, having that not be on the table also makes it makes you feel much more connected to the situation that you're in. For instance, I was playing, well, I'll bring it up because I saw someone mention it in the chat and I can't type at the same time I'm talking, but we were playing this Monster Hunter campaign, and it was great. And I was playing this like young, brash bard. I was like, you know, I had everything going for me in the entire world, and I never lost anything. And so I played games fairly recklessly because I hadn't really learned, there were any consequences to my actions. I was awesome. Everything always turned out awesome. That was like great for me. And then we started hunting a Zarlfus, which is they're known as like the hunter of heroes. They're like the big bad beast that like they hate characters just like mine because of the hubris of good, So we go up the mountainside and we're like having a good time in our cart. We're like, we're gonna kill this thing. It's gonna be great. And it just chucks a tree on us from the top of the mountain ledge. And I don't make it out of the cart in time. And I'm dead. It's just done. Like, I'm dead. That's the end of the brightest life in the party gone right there, right? And I'm just like, and everybody is shocked. Everybody is just, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened because I was the leader. I was the one that was getting everybody to go do this, and I just got murdered by the creature with like, it was nothing to this creature. It was a Tuesday for the Zarlfus. For them, it was like the worst day of their life. And so, they turned back, and it just so happened that we were in an area of our world where these people who have a really strong connection to the plane of spirits happen to be. They have these spirit wells. And so they went there, and because of things that we had done for them earlier in the game, they were able to bring me back. But it also marked, so I did come back to life, but I also came back a much different character because I had seen, hey, in one blink, I died. It could have been anything, and I was just done. And so it changed the trajectory of our story a little bit, too, the trajectory of our story, because I was no longer this cocksure character that had nothing to worry about. I knew, it could be it. What we're doing isn't a game, it's for real. And it added a lot of depth to the story that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So as a player, I really like the player death part. And I really like that it's complicated to come back from that person.
Yeah, I'll say I've been lucky so far in that I really haven't had my own characters die. I'm sure that will change. I've gotten close. I've gotten the 2 failed saves. It's very unnerving, but I've found it from the other side. Being the player, having to not deal with or understand the fallout of the player death. And anyone who's listened to Discount knows that Chris runs a tough but fair game. And the campaign 1 finale was very tough, and having to go through that and seeing like having some of the moments that came through, like with certain characters. I'm trying so hard to be oblique. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so it's like if I start saying names, I might just mute myself. But like, the reaction for my character, like after seeing like death and everything, just it shook him so much, like that he like almost he couldn't continue. And seeing like what some of the other characters are doing, like there's other characters that they're trying to do their own thing to try and do like these resurrection kind of things. And it's interesting the fact that it's kind of all in the background because of everything that's going on with the new campaign. But it's interesting to like kind of know that they're out there and they're still mourning and they're still trying to do it, and they're handling it in their own ways.
Well, one thing that kind of makes me think, like specifically in those couple episodes of that episode where you're talking about Patch, one thing that I think kind of like a interesting side effect of character deaths is like it gives the still alive, the surviving characters a chance to like just shine, basically, because I think all you guys handled those moments beautifully, and they were some of the most poignant and like important moments of Discount Dungeons because something so like final happened. Everything from that point on was different, and you guys all handled that like beautifully. I thought that was honestly like the one specific moment that I'm sure you probably think of is the closest that I've ever actually come to crying at a table. I was crying on the other side of it. I was weeping like a small child person.
Yeah, it was very tough to keep my composure for certain parts.
It was beautiful.
All right, let's talk about fun things now.
Yeah, another question, please.
Yeah.
Well, we actually are out of time.
Oh no!
No!
I just looked up at the clock.
I know.
I will give all my points to continue
Okay.
this conversation.
So I will give you a rapid fire question that answer no context, because literally that's what the question asks. What is your favorite quote that makes no sense out of context from a game you have participated in?
May the bridges I burn light the way. Done.
He told me about something called sexy, and apparently it involves my dongle. That's a relic
Holy
original.
Cow.
We all killed the governor.
Wait, does that make you Fitty Copper?
Love it.
Fuckery is afoot is the opener, and shenanigans and fuckery will be on the main stage after.
Hey, do you guys want to know what happens when people get together and they're naked? You can thank Manda for that one.
Thank you, Amanda. That's amazing.
All right, we got to draw some giveaway winners here. So, last call for dice blind bags. We had a ton of questions come in. So, like I said, last call for giveaway entries, ! Ticket if you did not get your entry in. We had a ton of questions come in. I mean, we easily had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that we didn't get to. So, yeah, we had a lot.
Wow,
So,
thank you.
right?
Can we
I know.
just,
So
like,
what I try
Can
to
we just
do.
all record afterwards? Just like the 6 of us, just answer the questions.
Well, what I usually do is I like to post them up on Twitter, and I will tag you guys in them. So that way, like, we can have a nice little Twitter discussion. I will not post all 10 tomorrow because I do have a day job. And that's a lot of time on Twitter for a Monday. But I will post them throughout the upcoming week. So if you're not following Shared Experience on Twitter, at Shared EXP RPG, and Ears Edition special feature. I know, that would be fun.
Hey, let me know. Let us know. Or if you just send me the questions on the David date, I'll just answer them all myself.
There you go. Ooh, added
If Tillstra
incentive.
answers, who else? Why does it matter if the rest of us do?
Right?
It doesn't matter.
All right, I'm going to close the giveaway. And we're going to pull 3 winners. First winner is Scry Society.
Yes.
Go.
We don't know them.
We don't know
not
who they
here.
are.
Pull someone
Winner
else.
number 2, Speaking Stone Studio. Yay!
Well done.
And winner number 3 is CL Premise.
Hey!
Congratulations, guys.
Goodness.
So yeah, I would say get in touch with you, Jess.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
All right, great. So yeah.
Either on Twitter or on Discord, doesn't matter to me. So
Perfect. All right. So if you were one of the dice winners, get in touch with Jess, either Twitter or Discord. If you won the Into the Mists giveaway, you can get in touch with Nick. And if you won the mini giveaway, you can get in touch with Ray if you need help getting in touch with any of those people.
Was it Good Better Quest, Doug? Because if it was Good Better Quest,
it was.
Doug. Yeah, I have his address. We're
Yeah,
good.
I was like, wait, you guys know each other.
Yeah. I got you, boo.
Yeah, it's all good. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go back around. I'm going to have everybody remind us of where we can find you on the interwebs, and if there's anything else that you would like to just throw out there that you have coming up that you didn't get to share about tonight. And Patch, we're going to start with you.
Well, hey there. Congratulations. You've made it to the end of the show. If you've liked what you've heard, you can find me on Twitter at Patchter0730. I also do some voice acting, if you couldn't already tell. You can hear me on the first campaign of Discount Dungeons as a 2-deck. And just as a quick note, you can also find on Sundays, I have a thread that I do every week. It's called Searching Sunday. And what this thread is anyone who's looking for something, if it's crafts, music, new fans, anything that you could possibly think of, put it in there as a reply. And if someone else is interested, like, they can reach out. If you find something that you're interested in, reach out to that person. I think it's great. It helps bring the community together. And I said, someone sent a message like earlier this week saying that, like, I love it. I've met so many like people through it, and I basically said, if I can go at the end of the day feeling like I helped at least one person, then it's a success. And I do not feel like I've failed yet. So
Awesome.
thank you.
I love your
Thank
Searching
you.
Sunday thread.
It's a hot tweet for sure.
It is. Absolutely. All right. Ray, we'll go to you next.
Hello. I am RaeMayhem on Twitter. It's spelled the same. It's just smushed together. Same on Discord. And I saw a couple people and I tried to catch it as they went through, but I'm open to playing at any table right now. Like if I'm misspeaking, Luna, if I'm not allowed to play with people, you tell me.
No, not at all. You can only play with me. And maybe David.
No Ray. Bad Ray.
bad. I mean, I have some things going on, but I really do enjoy just like playing with other people. And I think David plays with me and he hasn't left yet, so I'm pretty okay to play with. So if people are interested, like, hit me up. I would be more than happy to do that. And watch Ripples in the Gray on Tuesdays. It's here we start at 8:00, and it is a good time. It is a good storyline, and it's just a lot of fun. So don't be like afraid that you don't understand the system, but because it's a narrative system, it's very easy to just jump right in. So I would encourage you to do that, and it's right here on Shared Experience.
Good job.
Thank you.
David, we'll head over to you next.
So, first things first, yes, can confirm Ray is a pure delight to have at any table. If anyone is looking for anyone, anyone in this chat I've had the joy to play with. Almost Jess, we got to change that. You're the only one I haven't. No, wait, we have in some of the shard play tests.
Yeah.
So I can now say in full honesty, everyone in this group is a pure delight to play with. You should play with all of them. Do it. They're all phenomenal. But I am David Tillstra. You can find me, my personal account at David Tillstra on Twitter. But I get not even more importantly, just another place you can find me is if you go to @FromAfar podcast, you can find us. That's where I am the dungeon master for a story where it's me and three of my one of them is my brother, and then two of the other ones are high school friends / improv troupe friends. Come hang out with us. We're looking for Atlantis, and just between me and you, they're not going to find it. So come hang out with us.
Spoilers.
Whoa. Yeah, we try to have some fun over there. So come find us at From Afar Podcast. And Nick, I'm gonna softball this to you. There are some cool collaborations coming up in the near future with From Afar Podcast, Discount Dungeons, and Know Your Role. Did I get all three of them? Did I say everybody?
Yeah, you got them
okay,
all.
cool. So yeah, that's where you can find me, and some cool collaborations coming up. And that's it.
Excellent. Well, that just will throw us right over to Nick.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So yeah, I'm Nick. You can find me on Twitter at Scry Society, and also on Twitch at Scry Society. I don't have an official monthly stream schedule yet, but the goal is to run one stream or one shot a month with different members from the community. So I will also probably be reaching out to folks who might be interested in playing on a stream at some point in the next couple of days and weeks. And in addition to
I'd like to pitch this entire group right here. Just saying.
Hey, I think we've been on a Tales where we had this exact same. We're like, we all need to run. Like, I'm supposed to run the last one through.
Right? I know.
Yeah, I feel like we had the conversation when you and I were on the first time, Nick.
Yeah. I'm trying to catch up to you, Shannon. I'm coming for your record on a number of Tales, just so you know. Okay. Two other quick things. So I recently published an adventure called Into the Mists on Shard Tabletop that I'm really excited that people have been able to start checking out. And then the last thing is it looks like Wolf's Blood shared a link down there. We did a Tiltify to raise money for Stop AAPI Hate, and we've already raised $420, which is nice, and also more than our $250 goal. We're keeping it open for 5 more days. If you donate $5, you automatically get a supplement from Keith and Jess at Underground Oracle, and you're entered into a giveaway for more good stuff. So, sorry, that was a long one, but
No, it's good. It's all good things.
All good.
All good things. Yeah. And I think all of us actually were hanging out in Nick's stream last night, and Nick's group smashed the goal before the story
Before
actually even started.
7 minutes.
It was like, yeah, it was awesome. It was very, very cool. So kudos to you, Nick, and congrats on the launch of your channel. We're all really excited to see what you've got coming.
thanks.
Yeah. And last but absolutely not least, Jess.
Woo!
Yay!
Thanks, you guys, for having me here. This was awesome. I loved it. It was super fun. You're all amazing people. Thank you to everybody that came from the chat. I'm Jess Pendley, at Jess Pendley on Twitter, Jess Pendley on Discord, Jess Pendley everywhere you want to be. So just reach out to me anytime. I'm one half of Underground Oracle Publishing with Keith. We have a Patreon, Underground Oracle Publishing. It's for like $3 a month. You can get a lot of really rad materials. $6 a month, you can get all of our really rad materials on Charlotte. And just to point back to what Nick said, the supplement that if you donate $5, the supplement is a micro setting. It's very cool. It's called Harrow the Blighted Plain. It's crystal punk, it's mushroom punk, it's desert punk, it's all the punks that you love rolled up into one. So definitely donate to that. I have a newsletter coming out next week called Unplaytested. It's pinned to my profile on Twitter right now. So if you jump on that early, you'll get to see cool stuff like the Riot Girl Sorcerer that I have coming out and lots of other cool stuff on the horizon.
I'm so excited about that.
Cool.
And I am GamerMomLuna, and this has been Tales from the Tavern. We are here every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern with a different group of people where the conversation is going to be a little different every week because we get all our questions from chat. Like I said, all the questions that we didn't get to, I will be posting on our Twitter throughout the week. So make sure you check that out. I will tag all of these awesome people in them so they can see it and drop answers if they would like to. You can catch us, as Ray said, on Tuesday nights with our Star Wars stream called Ripples in the Gray. That also starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then on Wednesday nights, we have our Pathfinder First Edition campaign, which is called 50 Shades of Crimson. I constantly want to screw up all of my colors now because I can't keep them straight. And that's also at 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific. And they're just all really good times, great groups of people, and we have a lot of fun. So feel free to follow us on Twitter or jump in our Discord if you haven't had the chance to do that yet. We'd love to have you. So we are going to send a raid over to the Dice Tyrants tonight.
Woo!
Yeah, they have a very cool stream on Sunday nights where they play Savage Worlds, and it's a superhero themed game. So drop them a line when you get over there, and say hi and drop them a follow if you haven't already. So have a great night, everyone, and we will see you again next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love you all.
You're the bestest.
Is it done yet?